But again, I think if I were in that situation, oh, I can hear the neighbors shouting about things to put in the dumpster out there. It's definitely odd to me, but again, I haven't lived that particular life. So, I mean, I've known people who have died, of course, but I haven't had a really close death in the family. I think when I was like 12, my sister's friend drowned in the summertime, and that was like the closest I've been to death. And that, of course, was devastating because, you know, she's a little girl, but I haven't really had anyone die particularly close to me. My mentor passed away like 6 years ago, but he and I had grown apart. You know, he kind of had turned his back on me at that point, so we weren't particularly close at the moment. That's for sure the closest person I've been to who has died. Some of the kids I grew up with, every month you hear about somebody who killed themselves or OD'd or whatever. Um, so, man, this is a bummer topic, but yeah, a girl I kind of grew up with, I never really liked her very much. She killed herself a couple years ago. That was, it's, it's so, it's an odd feeling. And then, like, I went to school with a kid. He went and became a state trooper, and then they just found him dead in his house one day. It's so, this is weird. I don't want to talk about this anymore because I don't want to drag down my YouTube videos and stuff. But death is it exists, and it is what it is. I think it's hard to process, and I think people who get hung up on it have a really hard time with it, and people who don't have a hard time with it. So I don't really know where I stand. Mentor, yeah, I had a mentor. I basically, when I was a teenager, I was so I was a bad person for a long time in my life, and at one point I got involved with a church looking for answers, looking for something, you know, and I never really found it. But there was a guy who was a lot older than me. So where are you? There you are. Okay. He was, you know, like 25 years older than me, and he just took an interest, you know, and he reached out to a lot of us young people. You know, he tried to put me on a path of a good path, but I was a really bad person, and he just didn't really understand the depth of my. Honestly, a lot of it was mental health issues. Some of it was childhood abuse that I wasn't processing. There was a lot of, obviously, it's a huge factor, right? Nobody is just one thing. It's factors that you experience your whole life that shape you. He didn't really understand the depth of that, and it was like, you know, he tried to help me and to put me on a good path. He also made some bad decisions that did not help me. But ultimately, you know, he's like the only guy who's ever really taken an interest in me. I didn't have a good father figure growing up, so he was a lot of those things to me. And yeah, then, you know, my life changed. I had some stuff going on. I was away for a while, and we grew apart, and he started to let me down quite a lot at a time when I really needed him to be there and to be a good, you know, father figure. So we had kind of gone our separate ways, and he had lied to me about some things that we're not going to go into detail about, but he had misled me about some of his personal life stuff, and like he shaved his head and everything. And then I found out later that, like, I guess he had cancer, and he just never told me, never really told anyone, and they found him dead one day. He just was dead in his shower, and I don't know. I mean, obviously, I couldn't have changed that. I couldn't have. You know, he was sick. You know, you can't fix that. You can't help them with that. You know, what are you gonna do? But the fact that he never told me rubbed me really wrong at the time and was very upsetting because, like, I loved him very much. He was like a dad to me, and because like him not telling me shows that we had grown so far apart that he wasn't even willing to share such a important detail about his life. And I mean, whatever. People grow apart. You know, it had been, you know, I met him, geez, I would have been like 16 years ago or something like that. And then like 5-ish years ago, we grew apart really hard. Or no, like 7 or 8 years ago, we started growing apart. And then he died like 5-6 years ago, something like that. I have the newspaper clipping of his obituary. I don't really remember when it was exactly. AR-15, it's really good to get a 5.56 223 rifle this early. It is damaged, and I don't love. Man, they're banging all kinds of stuff out there. I don't love the AR-15 in the game. I do prefer the SIG, but a gun is a gun, and it came with a 10-round clip, which I also don't love. They expanded 223 clips recently. Some of them are very, very big. Some of them are not. Some of them are tiny, which is not great. Man, I wish they would stop talking directly outside my window. Yeah, they're doing an auction next door. I don't know. My one family member said they want to try to get his truck. And it just feels weird to me. Not to circle back to death, because I don't want to spend all day talking about that. But, like, it's weird to me that the neighbor it was friends with my family member for, like, 40 years. And he didn't seem upset at all that he died. And then he's like, oh, I'm going to try to buy his truck. It's like, it just strikes me as odd. Does this have metal sawing? It does, but can you actually saw metal with the multi-tool? Can I cut bars? Activate multi-tool. You can't. You can't saw metal with this. Well, we could hope it's the open gun shop. There is a gun shop that has an open door that I made. Was that the gun shop? I think it was. We could shoot for the pawn shop and hope that I can find one of the basements with all the cool stuff. Can't saw through bars with this, huh? Dude, that stuff sucks, but it's even worse because everyone has that sort of story. Yeah, I've never been too much a part of guns other than getting an M4A. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Everybody has... It is what it is, you know. Like, I talk about it. It's one of those things, too. You gotta understand, it's been several years. So that kind of stuff is whatever, you know. You get used to things and you forget about things. I still think about him a lot, but like I don't focus on him. And everybody has, you know, some friends that passed away or whatever, and some people like my family member that had the neighbor die. It's like I'm sure he was sad that he lost his friend, but at the same time, he's older and he's probably been dealing with people in his life dying for 60 years. What are you gonna do? Yeah, I don't know. The AR-15 is fine. Getting an assault rifle that fires 223 is good enough. As long as we have something that we can funnel that ammunition into. By the time we get to that stage, we're going to have other clips for it. We're going to have the means to repair it, all that stuff. So it'll be fine if that's all we can find. But again, pretty common guns. So this is not the open gun shop variant, unfortunately. I dropped all my cash cards so I can't consolidate them. Let's peek here. Yeah, so the open gun shop variant, this window is broken out and it's kind of barricaded with furniture. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that. We can try to pick our way in there with lockpicks. Our leather pants are on the way out as well. And our backpack is getting wrecked. Where do I see feral runners? To the south. So these guys have seen us, so we're going to back off to the house we've been using kind of as our filter point. Got another 6 or 7 enemies coming at us. Just stand inside. The feral runners can track pretty well, so they at least will probably follow our scent trail in here. If I could hit this guy would be great. Why is our torso encumbrance so high other than the plate mail? It's not. It's actually pretty okay. Yeah, that's fine. Pulp. Let's try to rest before more get here. Okay, stop. I don't think we even recovered any stamina. Oh well. Yes, you're destroying my backpack. I understand. Freaking, there goes the backpack. God, I hate so much that they hit your backpack like 99% of the time. Let's back off. Can't close the door because of the bodies. Let's see if we can just rest a little bit. We could. Let's in fact pull those corpses out of there, so if we need to come back here, we can barricade a little bit. We have the duct tape, check the corpses. Not really anything. I just destroyed the wall with a mace. That's interesting. I didn't mean to smash that. I smashed the wrong tile. More zombies coming. Hello, zombies. Man, I'm getting hoarse already. How long have we been streaming? It hasn't been that long. 2 hours, really? Okay. Didn't you do that gun shop? What, the one we saw? No, I didn't do that. The barricade one? Yeah. So I'm trying to remember too. Like I said, I made a pawn shop variant, but I don't remember if I added it to the game or not. The barricaded gun shop. Yeah, I just thought like we don't have a lot of situations like that in the game where like we have a there's a feral runner in there as well. We have a handful of locations that are kind of barricaded where you can kind of tell like people have tried, but mostly is not really a lot of those places, and most of them don't look really good. Like sometimes you'll go in a place and like they'll have barricaded the door, but there's no corpses or anything. Well, there goes the backpack. Oh boy, we got hit in the backpack like 7 times in the last 2 enemies, so that's exciting. There's not a lot of places. Like sometimes you'll find like, oh, they barricaded a room, but there's no corpses or like stuff. So it's like, how did they barricade the room, and then they're not there anymore? Like, where did they go? They just vanished from existence. So that kind of stuff always bothered me. So I did make a gun shop variant where they had used all the furniture that started in a gun shop and kind of barricaded it's telling a story, right? It's telling a story where they start out with breaking in the window, but then they realize they're vulnerable because the window is open, so they take all the furniture inside and block up the window. Then when you get inside, there's kind of smashed furniture that tells a story like, oh, they broke down the barricade. There's a couple zombies in there. Are those the survivors? Are those the enemies that came in and attacked them? Then I think I might have put a human corpse in the back, and there's kind of empty food cans. Like, you want to tell the story, right? And that's the thing with a lot of these locations. It's like it doesn't tell that story. It just says, I put a desk in front of the door. Where's the body? Where's the zombie? Where's the stuff they had? It's all gone. Zombified. As in the people that barricaded were zombified? Yeah, but half the time the rooms are empty. There's nobody in there. The only place I can think of where there's like a guaranteed zombie is like the one restaurant has a freezer, like a walk-in fridge or whatever. And I think that's a guaranteed zombie spawn, and that kind of tells a story like, oh, they locked a guy in there and then he died and became a zombie, and I kind of like that, but that's like the only one. So our backpack is destroyed. We should have one in our vehicle, but I didn't want to backtrack until I cleared out the enemies, but I also really would like to have the shotgun on us at all times. So let's quickly grab one of our backup backpacks. Oh good, I took it back to base, so I don't even have it here. Sweet. I mean, I can't be here without a backpack. Let's just auto walk back. I don't really feel like dealing with it. Send me back. Zombie spotted. Oh God. Yes. So we see a flaming eye. I don't know if you've ever seen a flaming eye, internet. Where is he? 2 of them. Oh God. So flaming eyes are one of the most BS creatures in Cataclysm. They have an incredible range. No, I'm not going to walk into them. They have really long range. They have a huge variety of abilities. They're really cheaty. They're really unfair creatures. If you get anywhere close to them, you'll go blind. They'll hit you with a whole ton of effects. Super terrible. And there's really literally nothing we can do at this stage to deal with that. And we've already set up base. So like honestly, the fact that they even exist here makes me want to pack up and move. But I don't have space in my vehicle to do that. And I really don't want to have to drive through town. But 100% the smart play is to just leave as quickly as possible. It's like right here too. So smart play is to walk through the forest and stay as far away from them as possible. Grab the absolute necessities, put them in our vehicle and drive away. But driving the vehicle back is going to take us in close proximity of the eye. It really is such a big deal that we have to move. We can't stay here because they're going to continually cause us a whole lot of issues. That sucks. Man, we're seeing a lot of endgame stuff because we have the flaming eyes and we saw the Migos. And I thought the Migo Tower, I don't know, is fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. Let's just, how far away are you? You're like right there. Okay, get in your car. Just try to drive past it. Because we need the car. And we need to be able to get our stuff. So let's go back to base. Man, it'd be so much better if I could go through the forest. Let's just try to give it as much space as possible. Stay away from me. Don't give me any messages. Leave me alone. On the plus side, they don't have any like regular attacks, so like we don't have to worry about dying. It's just they have so many negative effects that can be so significant, especially if you can't deal with it. So I really, really don't want to be anywhere near that freaking thing. Oh, sorry, internet. I'm getting super hoarse over here. Throat's killing me. Shouldn't have sang. It's the singing, internet. It's the singing that does it to you. So let's just grab what we think is essential. First of all, put on a backpack. We should have... No, we literally all we have is a sling. That's not right. Backpack, yes. Stop wielding, sure. Wield the mace. Of course, it dropped it into a not great. There we go. Mace. Where did I get clean riot armor? Riot armor. Where did I get you? Must have been on a pre-generated corpse somewhere. Well, the clothing is not essential. The books are absolutely necessary, so we'll take all of our books. We don't need 2 copies of this, though. So all the books have to go. Take all the cash cards. I guess we take a flare. I don't really care. Definitely the flashlights, and because they have powerful batteries in them. Take the MP3 player for sure. Multi-tool. I will grab the sponge. I like the sponges. These have batteries in them, but I don't really need 2-way radios. I more need the batteries. So let's unload those for full plutonium batteries. And we definitely need all of our meds. We should be able to pick all these up as well. We actually don't have that much stuff currently, so it's not going to be that big of a deal for us to move. We're just going to be starting from scratch from a food and drink perspective. Everything else should be takeable. And we're going to straight up move. And there are some of you out there, probably, on YouTube, who are going to say, oh, you didn't need to move. This wasn't a big deal. This is actually a really big deal. You definitely don't want to be living near these guys. So we're just going to pack everything up because why expose yourself to more risk than you need to? We're going to dump all that stuff. Should have a nice clean inventory. Yep, our pants are on the way out, but that again is something we can just replace on the road, not a big deal. Anything else? I guess I'll grab the ice axe because it's neat. Did they ever fix sauerkraut? Let me pick up this jar. So if you open the jar, it just was empty, right? You open the jar exposing it to the atmosphere, and it vanished from existence. Yeah, so sauerkraut is still broken. That's a bummer. We will grab some of this stuff, I guess. We do have more space. We have all that food in the car anyway. And we... fruit juice, yes. Tea bags, yes. Leave the bottles, I don't care. Is there anything else that I need right now? Oh, we didn't even check the unsorted pile. That's a big deal. Definitely need to do that. Okay, so dump this stuff. Should be fine. Dump the MREs. Dump the ice axe. So I know this is not fun to watch. Apologies. I don't really have anything else off the top of my head to talk about. How much space do we have? Literally pretty full. We could dump some of the food place stuff if we want to. In fact, it's all in cardboard boxes, which makes them much larger because the cardboard boxes are big. So let me test this. Give me one of these food place whatevers. So we're at 1.19. So if I drop this, it's not displaying volume, so we have no idea. Okay. 0.03 becomes 1.91. So about 1.8 volume. If I unload the food place thing, drop the cardboard box, check my inventory, it's about 1 liter. Okay. So if I took them all out of their boxes, I would get some space back. I don't think that's really necessary. Did we get a new one to the fam? You mean a follow? I believe we've had 2 or 3 today. Thanks to everyone who followed. Again, thanks to everyone who's been coming out to support me. I don't know what I expected, but it's always nice to see people pop in. Dinner and back to lurking. Okay, welcome back. I don't know how much more we're going to stream, to be honest. I'm feeling really hoarse. I don't know how my voice sounds in the recording, but I feel very hoarse. Um, so we might be calling that shortly. I really don't need the backup shotgun. We're going to take the ammo for sure. Definitely the hatchet, definitely the sewing kit. I like having bee balm. I don't really need most of this. First aid kit, more books, definitely. Don't need the maps. Oh man, we have so much more stuff here than I thought we did. Heavy battery, we don't see a lot of those. We'll take it. Why is this battery green? Oh, it's leaking radiation. Are you kidding me? So I had that thing in my base this whole time, leaking radiation. That's great. I'll take this stuff and then a whole bunch of food and antiseptic and stuff. Let's dump this in the vehicle a while. How full are you, fridge? Not at all. So go ahead and just dump all of our garbage in there. Because once we get to our new place, we're just going to unload anyway. So it doesn't matter if we put non-food in there. Plus, it's not on anyway. We don't have the freezers or anything turned on. I didn't even notice one of these is a freezer, one of them is a fridge. Having a freezer in the early game is so good. So we might take advantage of that in the future. And then let's just sift through the remaining stuff. Definitely need all the antiseptic. Man, we got a lot of antiseptic. All the vitamin type stuff, all the medicine. Oatmeal flour, canned food, take the water, I guess, juice, dried rice. Man, we had a lot more food than I thought we did. Don't take the gallon of almond milk, I guess. Everything else we can leave behind, so we'll take a little bit more. Food. I don't need live powder. Took all that. Okay, so I think that's all of our stuff. What is that image? Oh, that's the makeshift sling. It's not actually a sling pack. We definitely want some more container items in the future, or storage items in the future. We really don't have very many, and we lost our backpacks, so we're down to what we've got. Oh, we don't want to drop these because it will drop the liquid, so drop everything else first, so it clears out that menu, and then yeah, it removed all the liquid and stuff. So drop all that in there. I think we're good. We're good to move. What we could do, we're near the swamp. First of all, save. We haven't saved in an eternity. We don't want to crash the game. A lot of people have been getting seg faults when they're harvesting wild food and stuff. So that's something to be aware of. Before we move, we could check out this ranch and see if there are any animals to butcher. Our butchering skill is terrible. And we don't have solar panels. So like running the engine is the only way to keep the battery charged. And I don't know how much drain the freezer takes. Gas is really plentiful, though. Let's swing over there and see if there's anything to butcher. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go see what's going on at the ranch. Might as well. In fact, we could siphon gas before we move on, since there are vehicles here, but I think we'll just move on because I don't think it matters. So which way do I go? Left and then down. Destroys items. Man, my neighbors are going crazy over there. Okay. So let's head south. I don't know. They sound like they're having a party over there. It's freaking... Again, somebody died and they're like sorting through their stuff. So I'm really surprised they sound as happy as they are. But whatever, I guess. So we're going to swing by. I don't know if there are animals at the ranch. Obviously there should be. But I don't really think that... It doesn't look like there are. Which is kind of a huge bummer. There is a silo here, but I don't think the silo on the ranch is accessible. So let's see if we can pull up to the vehicle. I do think also there's a vehicle in the garage. There's usually a tractor of some sort, which is cool, but we already kind of have a vehicle. Yeah, it does not look like there's any animals here. That's a downer. Oh, cow? We see a cow. Giant cockroach is not great. Short hair cat and sheep. Oh, so there are animals here. Where are you guys? Oh, they're being murdered by the roaches. Classic. It's a tale as old as time, ladies and gentlemen. Roaches versus sheep. Very well-known enemies of the animal kingdom. We'll go up there. The Labrador mutt dies. Man, they're just murdering the animals, huh? The cows and horses, you would think would be able to kill them. Are you not even hostile? You are hostile. Why can't you see me? Can't see to your current location. That's weird. So what's killing them? What's over here? Nothing. Why? Is there not a tiny red dot down here? It looks like this sheep is hostile. It's tracking me. That's weird. Hello, horse. Let's kill some friggin' cockroaches, I guess. And then we'll focus. Of course, the cockroach hit our backpack. Why wouldn't everything just hit our backpack? Why would they hit any other body part when you can just tear up a guy's backpack? Stamina's not holding up so well, but this is the last one, so we should be fine. Let's rest, get our stamina back. Horse spotted. Is the horse gonna attack me? Come on, horse. Don't be like that. Maybe the horse is what was killing them? Where's the horse at? They're both listed in brown. Why are their names in brown? And they're tracking me. It's a horse though, bruh. Okay. We should use these guys for chitin. Did I bring a knife? I did. So let's stack up the corpses. Giant cockroach spotted. Where? I just looked at this. Over there, I don't care. Let the dog deal with it. Butcher the cockroach. Quick butchery or full... Just quick butcher. We have so many. Does it really matter? Ignore. Ignore. Why am I still out of breath? Get my breath back. Ignore. Okay. 7 chunks of chitin. Sure. Sinew. Mutant stuff we don't want. And an endochitin. Piece of rigid tube-shaped chitin from the inside of a bug. Seems to be performing some kind of support role. Can you guys hear my neighbors, by the way? They're so loud. You're quite sure normal insects don't have these. I've never seen that before. This must be a new-ish item. I don't think I've seen endochitin before. But we're going to butcher these guys for chitin for later. Just quick butchery is fine. I don't really want to spend an eternity dealing with this. So grab all that. Ignore. God, with all the pop-ups. So let's deal with this. Quick butcher. Ignore. No mutant organs. Chitin, sinew, chitin. Oh, butcher, giant cockroach. I don't even want to do all of them, actually. I think we need a significant amount of chitin to make the armor, but that's like so far down the road. We're not really there yet. I'm not super worried about it. Oh, good, another pack of roaches. I don't really want to deal with you. I'm just going to go around. Any animals in here? There are. Good, because these are much closer to base. Is the sickle still a -6 to hit? It's a -2. That's much more reasonable. I'm glad they changed that. Sheep, I'm not going to kill you yet. Don't even trip. Don't even trip, dog. I got you. Let's put these in our car. We can go source some meat, I guess. And then we'll see how much power drain is on the... We can check now. Box is full, so it fell to the pavement. Great. Great. Get the items on the ground, please. Pick it all up. We'll dump that in the fridge, because who cares? Chunk of chitin, yes. Okay. So let's turn on the freezer and see what the power drain is. -45. That's not that significant. We could run this overnight, no problem. Yeah, let's butcher some stuff. So, I would love to pull this out of the freezer, actually, and put it in the fridge instead. I don't think freezing liquids actually breaks the bottles or anything, so I don't think we need to worry about that. Oops, I was going to say I've never seen giant cockroaches in Cataclysm. They're pretty common. It just depends. There's a basement with them that always seems to spawn like 9 roaches, and that's a pretty common basement. Although Cursed Twist has been expanding basements lately, so who knows? Maybe that's way less common now. Butcher the sheep. We're not going to be able to... Oh, we can full butcher. Required to properly plentiful and varied. Your best tool is 11 butchery. Yeah, but why is it available to me? This corpse is too big to be full butchered without a table and tarp and all that. Okay, we need the butchering rack. It still lets you select it. I don't like that. I would rather it tell you, hey, you're missing this right here in this dialog box instead of printing a message. That's perfectly fine. So we'll quick butcher the old sheep. See what kind of food return we got. Chunk of fat, chunk of meat, 6 chunks of meat. Not amazing, but again, we're at a place, a wool staple. Okay, we're at a place where we can harvest quite a lot of meat, so I'm not super worried about it. I am going to, so what I could do is just keep butchering corpses. Instead, I would rather put this meat in the freezer as we get it. That way we're guaranteed that it will start freezing and we don't have to worry about it slowly going bad as we continue. So let's make sure we have that freezer turned on, which we do. I'm going to pull this stuff out. I don't like the idea of our freezer having tools in it. Nod to the Strange is now following. Hey, thanks. I appreciate the follow. Thanks for coming out and supporting the old channel. They're better than Black Widows. Yeah, the spiders in the early game in particular, well, I mean, they'll wreck you. Like, it'll just ruin your life. We saw that wasps also are problematic in our last... When we started this character, we got wrecked by the old wasps. Let's, everything... We can keep the juice and cider because it will... it's going to freeze them, though. I'd rather they just go bad, honestly. I don't want to deal with defrosting things. So let's pull this stuff out and put it in the fridge instead as temporary storage. Because I would rather have the freezer actually only contain meat. That way we can fit more of it. And honestly, the amount of meat we're going to get from just a few farm animals is going to be enough to feed us for weeks. So that is obviously something we want. Food place food, bee balm, sure. First aid kit, sure. Always good to find more streamers playing the best game in the world. You're not wrong. This game's pretty freaking fantastic. People always ask me why Cataclysm. And it's like, why would I play anything else? Honestly, this game's amazing. Found this game several years ago. It's been a constant staple in my life since then. And honestly, like I think I said this before, I was working on a tabletop RPG that I was trying to put together for zombie stuff. And this game had tons of stuff that I had wanted in my game, and I was like, that's it. It's so much better than anything I was trying to put together. And ever since then, come on, Cal, just deal with it. Just accept your fate. Oh, that was weird. What that butchery option that it highlighted was not regular butchery. Chunks of meat 30. Yes, we'll take the fat as well. I didn't really think about that. I generally don't bring the organ meats with me because it's just not super viable, and oftentimes the organ meats have a higher cooking requirement, so it's pretty easy to fail in the early game. But yeah, wasps, spiders, all those things, pretty terrible in the early game. I would not recommend. If you pop down in a basement and it's a spider basement, you really should just run away as fast as you can unless you're an established character. Spiders have very high dodge as well, which is like a huge part of the problem. Just deal with it, Cal. I'm sorry I couldn't more... Yeah, see, it only gives me... Oh, because we can't see. So dismembering gave us all that meat, so I imagine taking it to the light and actually properly butchering it is going to be way, way more. Give me a quick butcher. Ignore. Ignore, please. Ignore. Come on, roaches. This time we got 47, so very slightly more chunks of meat, which is not amazing, but it's better than what we had. Also got the hide. You know, I haven't like dealt with hide in the game in a long time. When I first started playing, I thought like, oh, I'll tan my own hide, I'll make my own stuff. It's actually way more work than it is worth it. It's almost never worth it to actually do that from scratch. So I think we'll leave that behind. Excuse me, sorry. Does Vorm's method of spider extermination still work? I have no idea what he does. So maybe, probably. I mean, he's pretty up to date on things. He usually knows a lot better than I do what's going on, so probably works. All that fat ended up in our. Okay, so how much? What do we get here meat wise? What are we looking at? 83 chunks of meat and handfuls of chunks of fat. So that's quite a lot of food that will last us a long time. Are you not being frozen? Why are you not being frozen? We spent 25 minutes butchering. You should definitely be cold by now. I'm a little concerned about that. Let's grab some more of this crap and get it out of there. Don't need our meds in here freezing for some reason. Pull all those out. And yeah, it's about it for that stuff actually. So we'll leave the rest of it alone. Dump this in here. Giant cockroach. No, I'm really not concerned about you, cockroach. You're nothing to me. I saw Joe. Is it Joe's Basement? Anybody remember that terrible movie that MTV made? Was that? No, it wasn't Joe's Basement. Joe's Apartment, something like that. The roaches. It's terrible. Okay, don't mind me. A leather tarp can let you full butcher some corpses. I mean, with so many of the animals here, it's really not even necessary to full butcher. And I really don't like feeding my character the same thing day in, day out. So, like, I'm trying to get meat because, of course, you should take advantage of it when you find it. But I don't need a lot of it. I'm not going to eat only meat anyway. So, use tons of clothes to raise cut resistance so spiders only land 1 or 2 damage hits. Oh, I don't know. That would make some sense. I don't know enough about how the system works because I thought if you stacked clothing, only one clothing item could reduce. No, because it does stack. Yeah, I imagine that still works. That makes sense. It sounds like cheating, essentially, or an exploit of the systems that exist in the game. So I don't know that I would do that personally, but Vorm, that's one of the areas that Vorm and I differ. People often ask like about Vorm, and it's like he does min-max stuff a lot, and he's very much just do whatever is most optimal kind of guy. And I'm more like I like to do things my way, even if it's not the best thing to do. Like I just said about eating meat. Obviously, I think Vormithrax has said in Discord, I don't know if he was serious, that he will go a long time without eating and then he'll just eat raw chunks of fat to get calories in his body. And I get, from a min-max perspective, that all makes sense and you're just trying to gorge calories into your body. But like, I look at that and I'm like, man, that's not fun. I would not do that to my character, This chicken's not even worth the butchering that we're going to do on it, but I had to murder something, so off you go, chicken. I apologize that you had to give your life for me. Because of encumbrance. I mean, it's just, I wouldn't do it. It's just not, it doesn't sound fun to me. Man, we didn't even get a single piece of meat. How's our survival? We're not even to level 1 yet, despite butchering quite a few corpses. So let's go out here and see what we can do to these other sheep. This is the silo. So is there any wheat in here we can get access to? It usually is locked. It is locked, and we can't actually see anything anyway. Bird food. I don't care about bird food. Step ladder, I could make my own if I needed one. Shovel's good, though. We'll take a shovel. So where'd you go, sheep? I want more meat. Where are you at? Where'd you get to? North-ish. Okay. Hello, don't run from me, please. I just want to be friends with the mace. Oh, where are you? Oh, wow, they're way faster when they actually get scared. So we just kind of want to corner them so they don't have anywhere to run. So let's just corner these group over here. These handful over here. Don't run up. Run down. I'm trying to corral you. Okay, well, whatever. You were dumb enough to stand still, so you're the one that gets eaten. Full butcher the sheep. I think we're good at this point of meat. I don't really see a reason to do all of them. Only 7 pieces? Okay, we'll kill one more. Sorry, sheep. Last one, though, I promise. Our right leg, our feet are in pain because we're wearing these stupid winter boots, so we'll dump those, and we'll take the last bit of meat here. And I think that'll do. Also, give me my stamina. I'm tired of listening to the heartbeat, frankly. Head back to the vehicle, dump these in our freezer, and we've secured food for quite a long time. Again, I'm not just going to eat a lot of it. We are going to cook it over time and kind of save it and, whatever, eat other things as well. Because I believe in treating my character, but we've secured 97 pieces of meat in addition to quite a lot of fat, so quite an enormous number of calories. I am pretty concerned that we've been butchering basically for a couple hours and none of this is even cold, let alone frozen. These items are, but the meat is not, and I'm a little worried it might be bugging out or something. And we've noticed virtually no change in our batteries. Plus, we're going to run our battery anyway, or charge our battery while we're driving. So, unfortunately, with the flaming eyes taking up residence near our base, I don't think that that's a safe place for us to go. We could push to the evac shelter. I don't think that's a good idea for two reasons. One is the railroad station, and two is because we're so far from town. There's another one up here which is better because there is house like density nearby that we could loot. And the reason I even bring up evac shelters is because NPCs will now congregate at safe locations. So like if we go to an evac shelter, there's a chance that there was an NPC in the area nearby that has found its way to the evac shelter for safety. So if we were looking to back up, and get some backup on our character, plus these evac shelters are surrounded by fields, so if we wanted to set up a faction camp, we could do that, although I have no interest in doing that. Other than that, I think we would prefer to drive like up here and settle right on the outskirts of town. That way we have access to this town, but we also have access to the other town pretty easily, without having to drive too far. So I think that is probably where we will head, which is, I hate driving. I hate driving in Cataclysm. You know what? I'm feeling pretty hoarse, internet. It's been, I don't know, 2.5 hours, something like that. I think we're going to call the stream. Thanks to everyone who came out. If you're watching this on YouTube, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. That'd be very helpful. If you're watching this on Twitch, thanks to everyone who followed. We've had 3 followers today, 4 followers today, although one was prior to the stream. So thanks to Ortark, Quiet Coyote 0, and Nod to the Strange, everybody who came out and followed the stream. Really appreciate it. And of course, I'll be back with more Cataclysm in the near future. I'm not sure when I will be streaming next. Most likely it will be on Tuesday. We'll stream some more Cataclysm for a couple hours. And yeah, like I said earlier in the stream, so this is just wrap up. I'll probably cut this out of YouTube, I guess. But I was playing WoW a lot, and I don't think people want to watch that. So if I do stream anything else, like on Monday, I don't know what it'll be yet, but I'm going to try to figure things out. I think that Cataclysm is the thing I should be streaming at the moment. So Tuesday probably will be the next day that I stream. Thanks everyone who came out. Hopefully you had a good time, and I'm glad we could spend some time together. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.